All right, so here's my secret for finding the most profitable niches online. Now, before trying to go at this, you would have to go and do research, hire research companies, set your own campaigns. But before you get into this, here's some questions you need to ask yourself. What are the most profitable industries? How much can be made per lead? And what keywords should you focus on? Okay, these are the key things that you need to ask yourself before entering any particular market. Luckily for you, we've gone and we found a secret source that you can use that gives you all of this information up front. All right, all you have to do is tailor it to your specific market. We're going to go to Service Magic. Service Magic and do some spying. All right, Service Magic, if you're not familiar with them, they're like a site that reviews all of the home service type of businesses out there, plumbing companies, lawn care companies, carpet companies, and you can actually go there to find a professional that they've reviewed for the service. All they are, when you look below the surface, is a huge lead gen company. Think about it. Let's actually go through the process. Let's say we're a deck. We're looking for a deck company. We want somebody to build a deck. We live in 90210. We want select any special features you want. Yeah, we'll take a bench. We're going to go for redwood. And yes, we're interested in learning about green alternatives. Click continue. Then they say select the status for this project. We're ready to hire. And we want this to be completed within 2 weeks. Is this request being covered by insurance claim? No. Are you the owner of the property? Yes. We don't have any. See, all they're doing, they're qualifying you. They're shaping to see who you are because they know they're going to turn you into a lead. We have matching deck or porch contractors in Beverly Hills. Get a quote from up to 4 pre-screened pros now. Enter your info, and guess what you become? You become gold because they're doing the alchemy process right here in front of you. They've taken you, who are just a wandering person on the internet looking for information about getting a deck done. You don't want to risk going with the wrong company. You came to Service Magic, you entered their information, and now you're a lead. They're going to pitch your information out to deck companies in that city, right? Wouldn't it be good to know what Service Magic charges per lead to these deck companies? You know, they sell leads. They're doing what you want to do on a big scale. So wouldn't it be cool if we could look at their rate sheet maybe to see what they're charging these companies? Well, we can. We have the rate sheet. All right. We're going to show you what they're actually charging per lead. We're going to show you which companies pay the most, which niches pay the most for leads. Okay. We're going to take a look at that now. Let's take a look at how their system works. Okay. So Service Magic, they match you up. It says customer searches online for a contractor and they find servicemagic.com. Then the customer completes the interview process like we just did. Service Magic matches the customer's project details to their criteria, and then Service Magic sends the lead to you and up to 3 other service pros via email and cell phone. All right, remember that. Then Service Magic pre-sells the customer by sending the company profile and rating, so they'll send it to the customer, and you connect with the customer to provide an estimate and grow your business. Okay? This has worked for them. They're a multi-million dollar company. You're going to be doing something a step better because the leads that you can offer this business aren't going to be shared with these other businesses. You're going to be giving exclusive leads, meaning it comes directly to them. All right, so you're going to one-up Service Magic, and you're probably, depending on what you decide on pricing, going to be priced at the same amount or better than the price that they give them for sharing that lead with 3 other businesses. So I hope that makes sense to you because that's a huge difference between you being a debt company sharing that lead with 3 other debt companies in the area or you getting the leads exclusively. Key difference is Service Magic is just going to give this little sheet. Okay? This little sheet, the customer filled out the form, they've gone on their way and they left the house. They may pass a sign, they may call a yellow page, they may do other things. And meanwhile, you, Mr. Debt Company, you have a sheet here with the lead information. Try to call the customer or whatever, you can't get a hold of them. You may get a hold of some, but it's not as fluid as what you're offering a business owner. You're offering a live lead. A live lead will call their business. It will announce that they're coming from you, from your lead generation business, and then they can pick up and take the lead live while they're hot, while they're right there on the phone ready for your service, right? That's what you're offering businesses. It's a lot different than just having a piece of paper with a name on it, okay? So know the value of what you're offering, because this is going to be reflected by what price you can charge. Service Magic, how they're comparing using lead buying versus other forms of marketing. Yellow Pages, they say, requires a large spending amount with no guarantee of results. Direct mail, less than 1% response rate, still no guarantee of results. And then print advertising, they show you the same thing. And then with buying leads, they pay for customers that match the type of work that they're looking for, because they're buying customers directly, skipping all the other forms of marketing, and that's what you're going to provide. I would strongly recommend you downloading this, because basically it's a Fortune 500 version of what you want to become, right? They're going to show you how to overcome objections right here the customers may have. You have customer question and answer. This is what you can use, literally, to put a structure underneath your company. And this is at servicemagic.com/rfs/docs/hs_salestools.pdf. Here is the golden sheet. If you look below the video or in the resources section, you will have this PDF for your own references. There are several things that you can do with this, okay? One of the main ones being identifying the most profitable lead buying companies out there. This is what Service Magic has already put together and compiled based on what they sell their leads for. It is not hard for you to go and price your leads accordingly. You'll see that we have deck and porch companies. We're at $55 and $38. We have business. That's for residential. For businesses, $60 and $78. Appliances, $12. The leads vary greatly, but what this does is it tells you automatically which niches that you could get into in your local market that are paying the most for leads. For example, look at developers here for $80 to $100 per lead. Per lead, okay? Carpentry, cabinets, there you go. An associate of ours, we found this list. We were browsing through, and he's an SEO, and they have a blog over here we're going to show you in a second. As you can see, some of the most profitable niches here are roofing and roofing, siding, and gutters. We're talking about $55, $66 a lead. Siding companies, $55 a lead. Senior housing, nursing homes, $65 a lead. We have remodeling and renovation, $50 and $60 a lead. So this list will tell you exactly who to go after, where the money is. The most expensive one on there, like we said, was the real estate developers. They were at the top of that list, and they were $80 per lead. Typically speaking, when you're dealing with these high-end, high-dollar value businesses, you can expect between $30 and $50 per lead. Some $60 per lead, as you can see, for electrical and remodel installs. If you want to download this PDF, go through and start. If you have local cash catalysts, how easy is it for you now to go and build your catalyst sites in the niches that you know have high lead values? All right, you can avoid making the mistake of going after, for example, European diners because you got $5 a lead there, as opposed to, let's say, landscaping, or right here, gazebo building, garage repair. Now you can see where you want to start setting your sites up that you can generate these leads from. It makes it really, really easy. Now, you do not have to use this as your price guide. This is just to gauge the value, and this value comes from obviously the cost of the actual service that they're going to provide. Service Magic has already gone through and figured that out for you. So you can use it as a scale for you, a loose scale, to see how you should be pricing your lead. When judging the traffic, the first thing that you want to do is head on over to Google AdWords, okay? I have to warn you from the beginning that Google AdWords traffic is not going to give you an exact figure, all right? That's not going to happen. They're going to give you broad, very broad. Broad is even too specific. They're going to give you just a vast image of what the traffic may look like, okay? It could be much more, and it could be much less. We've seen oftentimes much more. But what you will do is you come in here to Google, search for, let's say, for example, we have here Dallas catering, okay? Dallas catering. So if you're gonna offer leads to a caterer, which I think on the chart was about $40, $30 to $40 a lead, because you know an average caterer can have a 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 and up job, you know, depending on the event and the size of the occasion. So for Dallas catering, we'll see 14,800 local searches. You want to look at the local searches, obviously. It doesn't really matter for this instance. I know us marketers, we're trained to come in here and do exact match, but you got to think, even you can, I would say at bare minimum, you can come in and do phrase match, but even at broad match, I mean, the numbers are so uh, broad, it's not going to make much of a difference. You're just trying to see if there's traffic there. And for that reason, because we're going to show you how to get the exact number in a minute, but for this is just the initial gauging of to see what's there. We have Dallas catering, catering in Dallas, 1414. See, those numbers are broad because they're exactly the same. And then you have Dallas, Texas catering for 3,000. So let's take a look at the math for a second. I'm going to pull out the calculator and just hypothetically say that there are 40,000 searches across the keywords that you're going for. So say 4 keywords are getting 10,000 searches or so on average. We have 40,000 possible searches. You're not going to get 40,000 people to your site. You know, if so, you're doing something special. The 40,000 people are what are searching for that keyword, those key phrases per month. So the next thing you want to do is figure out what percentage of those people are actually even going to see your site. So let's just say 8% of the people, your directory, your local cache catalyst is above the fold, and 8% of these people are going to actually get to your site. All right, so that's 3,200 people per month that are getting to your site because you've done everything properly and you've siphoned them in to your lead landing page. Okay, now of those people, you could expect 10% of them to make a phone call. All right, let's say that you get 10% of those people in there for the phone call. So we're going to go. It's 320 people who actually call in for the Dallas caterer. Okay, now obviously your number could be lower and higher, but this is an example. So the 320 calls that come in, let's say you were on the low end of things, you were giving away leads for really cheap, and you were charging $30 a lead, $25 a lead even. So times $25 a lead, you are in business. You are at $8,000 a month with this one caterer who's buying leads from you. Okay, more than likely, 320 leads will probably be too much for one catering business to handle. Okay, not all leads will turn into business, but a good majority of them will, because people who are looking for a caterer have a very specific need in mind. So if they're calling the caterer, and your caterer that you're working with is a quality caterer, okay, you're not just working with some newbie person who's just got a business loan there, they're just starting out with their catering business. But if you're working with somebody who's been in the whole catering business for a while, um, they can handle a good portion of the leads. You could offer exclusive leads. You could split them up and offer them to 2 different companies, or you can also, we'll show you in a little bit how you can take the leads and offer the same leads to 3 different companies. The only difference is that they won't be exclusive, and you'll have to make the leads cheaper. Okay, because exclusive leads cost the customer, your customer, who are the business owners, it costs them more because they're exclusively getting them naturally. Now, if you're going to go and you're going to get 3 people access to the leads, what happens is you're providing a service for the actual person who's looking for a Dallas caterer, because now they don't have one person, but they have 3 separate quotes they can get. And we actually play on this with one of our strategies coming up, because it's as if you're going out and you're being your own service magic. We saw how they do that on a very broad scale, and there's no reason you can't do the same. You don't have to box yourself into one lead type of service. The numbers work. You always want to take into consideration how many people are going to see, how much traffic there is, how many people above the fold are going to actually come to your site. So you're safe to take between 5 and 8% for that. And then how many of those people are going to actually make a phone call. All right, and typically speaking, you can get 10%, 5 to 10% to call in and make the phone call. All right, with those numbers, you can check and gauge the traffic and see if it's worth your time. Another source you can use to double verify the traffic is Keyword Spy. If you come into Keyword Spy, this is a paid solution, but you can use the free one. It'll work just fine. You put in Dallas Catering, you'll see that right now there's 73 PPC advertisers. Number one, that tells you there's a lot of competition there, willing to pay for traffic. All right. Any one of these paid PPC advertisers, by the way, is a potential client of yours. Instead of them out there, being out there spending their money trying to get traffic, you could step in easily and just offer to hand them the fish, like we talked about earlier. Okay, you can give them the fish, and you'll see that it says 9,000 searches per month. And it also gives you some other keywords that you may want to take in consideration, like Dallas caterers in plural, reversing it, caterers in Dallas, and so on. You can also go and check out semrush.com. At SEMrush, basically, you're going to see the same information presented differently, and sometimes you'll find conflicting information. That's the whole point of checking various services, but it looks pretty consistent, and you'll see the cost per click that Dallas caterers are paying. You'll see the top competitors, and you'll see the keywords of which companies are ranking for those keywords and which ones are paying for it to be in that spot, and also how much traffic is coming to the site. Now, the very best way for you to get a feel for the traffic, a lot of you won't do. But once you get some money under your belt and some extra spending cash, it's the best way to gauge the traffic before you even jump into the market, right? Because you're going to actually see live how many actual visitors are looking for these phrases. What we would do, and this is what some veteran marketers have been doing for years, okay? But when you apply it to this model, it makes even more sense. Is you want to go into AdWords and sign up for AdWords already if you haven't done so, and create an actual AdWords ad. Okay? And you're going to create that AdWords ad using the keywords that you're thinking about targeting. Okay? That you're not sure. So catering in Dallas, Dallas catering, we would use those keywords to go and create AdWord ad campaigns. We would make this ad terrible. We don't want anybody clicking it. We don't care about the high cost per click or being Google slapped or whatever. We'll take it. We just want the ad to run. We want to bid high enough for the ad to run. We want the ad copy to be terrible so nobody clicks it. That way we don't have to pay for it. But more importantly, we want to count the impressions. The impressions. We're going to use this as a testing device. We're going to use this so that now we can log in after 24 hours or after a week and of seeing good impression amounts and see, like, okay, Dallas catering is getting 500 impressions a day, so on average it's going to be at 15,000 impressions a month. That tells us that it's 15,000 people truly looking, that we've counted ourselves, and that are looking for a Dallas caterer. And you may spend $150 doing so, you may spend $200 doing so, but the money you spend will be far less than what it would have been if you wasted time going into a niche where there is really no traffic. In all, you will have a very good picture of exactly how much traffic there is and exactly who to target. Okay? Now let's look at how we gauge the strength of the competition to see that if it's going to be too competitive and be too expensive for you to go into this market and try to start generating leads for it. One of the easiest ways for you to gauge your competition is for you to go ahead and go to Google and put in the term SEO Quake. Now, depending on if you have Firefox, Internet Explorer, Safari, like I'm using here, you're going to have a different install. But SEO Quake is basically a browser tool that will show. It's an extension that will show above any website, and if you're in Firefox and Chrome, it will show on the actual results, search results, but it'll show you the page rank of the site, how many links it has, how many pages indexed it has right there, the age of the site, and so on. And this can be very valuable when taking a quick assessment over the local marketing competition. I will go on record saying that your efforts in terms of ranking for local search words is going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot easier for you to rank for these words as opposed to going after make money or train a dog or those type of common keywords. These keywords, especially in towns that are smaller towns that still get decent amounts of traffic, I mean, you could just pretty much jump to page one for those keywords, especially if you follow the local cache catalyst system in picking domain names and setting up directories. But as you can see here, we'll just go ahead and we'll put in, for example, Dallas, what were we doing, caterers. Oops. Culinary art and catering, page rank 3. What you want to look at is the amount of links they have in, the amount of pages they have indexed, and the age. Okay, and then you can see the rank over here with SEM Rush. So that'll give you a quick snapshot as to what the competition is looking like in your niche when it comes to, on a site-by-site basis. There are tools that you can buy that will do this. There's services, one being Traffic Travis. If you go to Traffic Travis, you'll see a page like this, and it'll allow you to sign up for Traffic Travis for free for analytic purposes. So you can look at the different sites all in one page and see what their page ranks are, how many links they have, the age of the domains, and so on. Count for yourself or use one of the tools the overall number of page ranks for the entire first page, okay? How many backlinks and the age of the domain. And if you set that up in some sort of an Excel sheet, you can pretty much just have Excel laid out on a row by row basis so that you get a broad bird's eye view of all of the various sites on that page. If you see too many page rank 3s and higher, or if you see too many domains that are all 10 years old, older than 3 years, you may be headed towards some stiff competition, which is rare to come across in this entire market segment. So remember, make sure you target the clients properly using the service magic tactics that we showed you, using some of the other common sense approaches, knowing what people are paying per lead. Make sure the niche has enough traffic to be worth your time to actually getting involved with, and make sure that the competition isn't ridiculously high, like with thousands of backlinks with a page rank 4 or higher. And you want to go grab the low-hanging fruit first. There's nothing wrong with going after the big money, but let's get going first, and then you have the option of doing what you like because you've proven to yourself that it works.